Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPreditor software program. In today's video, I'd like to take a look at how the USE Minis, in particular the ES, unfolded yesterday, which was Thursday the 19th of November. If we look from a new trader standpoint, our STF, which is our color-coded trend indicator, was basically up. You would have avoided this sell setup here and taken this DP buy here. So let's place the analysis on our blue buy reversal bar. This is easy. By hovering over the blue buy bar, right mouse click, do analysis. This places the analysis on the chart, and as you can see, it gives you the entry level, the stop level, and also the projected target. It also works out the number of contracts, lots or shares, contracts in this case because we're trading the ES, based on your account selected. In this case it's a 20,000 US dollar account, risking 2%. You can have other select other accounts if you wish and set those up in the user preferences. As you can see, this was a nice trade. The market went from the entry level up to the profit target pretty straightforwardly. The STF was weak, in other words less than our grey strength band, and as such you'd have come out at the profit target for a nice 3.7R profit. So this was a good example of position sizing where the initial risk was kept small and under control, and the profit was large in relation to the initial risk, in this case 3.7 times greater. You'll also notice that our signal was actually on the very low bar of the day. This is where the day started. So if you look at this, you've got a buy signal on the very bar of the low of the day. So that's obviously a nice place to be taking a long trade. The market was in quite a narrow range, so taking profit up here captured pretty much most of the range for the day. One thing I'd like to say as well is if we scroll out or zoom out, you can see that the previous day was quite a big up day and we didn't get any long signals, and people, or particularly amateur traders, look at that and say, well, they feel disappointed that you don't get trades on big move days. But it's not about that. Making profitable trades is all about your profit in relation to initial risk. So you don't have to have a big day to make a nice profit. In other words, the market doesn't have to move a long way to make a nice profit. And sometimes on big wide range days like the day before, it's actually quite hard to get in with a small controlled initial risk. Plus that was the Fed day, and you can see the market was a bit quiet going into the Fed announcement, and that was the Fed announcement at 2 o'clock, which pushed the market sharply higher. So the point I'm making is that even though you have a narrow range day, if I put the analysis on, you can see that the profit is related to the initial risk. So if you have a narrow range day, the initial risk can be relatively small, so that means you don't have to have a big move to have a big or a large profit in relation to the initial risk. So that's one factor that many amateur traders don't seem to understand, is that you don't have to have a big move to make the big profits, because the profit should be related to your initial risk or your losses. So that was a good day for the ES yesterday. Basically one long trade with a profit of 3.7R. On the NQ, large good trend again was up. So you'd have had this TS2 buy setup here. You'd have ignored the DP sell. Let's place the analysis on, up into the first target very nicely for a nice 3.2R profit. So a nice day there as well. The rest of the day, no low probability or high probability low risk setups. You wouldn't have been taking anything. The only one you may have considered would be a bit later in the day here, this DP buy setup. And as you can see, it came within a couple of ticks of the profit target. So how you would have managed that would have been up to you, but at the very least you'd have had your stop to break even, particularly as you were going into pretty much the close of the day. So you may have decided just to trail at the bar lows here as you got close to the target and take out a small profit. It's very difficult when you're taking a trade close to the end of the day. But nevertheless, this TS2 buy setup a bit earlier in the day would have been a nice 3.2R profit. The YM only had sell setups, but of course we know the large view trend is up, so you'd have been avoiding those sell setups and done absolutely nothing there. So a good day on the USE Minis, where you would have had a nice long trade on the ES there, and also had a nice long trade on the NQ. So two nice trades on the USE Minis yesterday. For you guys who want to look at the large degree trend based on the higher time frame charts, if we clear all this off and we go out to our 15-minute chart, the next DP resistance area is all the way up here. That DP was taken off the previous high there. So if I take that off, that was the major high there that I'd place the DP on. So the large view trend was officially still up. So when you come down to the 3-minute charts, you should still be biasing your trades to the long side. So that fits in quite nicely. Another good example that's unfolding at the moment on our multi-time frame analysis is on the DAX. I'll just take this off and show you what I did here. This is the 3-minute chart of the DAX. If we go to our 15-minute chart here, we'd have gone back to the last swing into the low, which was this pivot. Right mouse clicked here, placed DP on, and that would have given you a decision point resistance level, which as you can see has caught pretty much the high of the day so far, which is the 20th, which is when I'm recording this video. So when we go down to the 3-minute chart, there you can see our 15-minute DP catching the high beautifully. Therefore the large view trend will be down. So in other words, you'll be avoiding this buy setup, and that's a good example of how the DPs on the larger or higher time frame chart can gauge the large view trend better than our STF indicator, because like most indicators this is lagging. So the large view trend was down, you'd avoid that buy setup, you'd be taking these sell setups here. So you would have actually had a -1 hour loss on that first one. Then there was another TS2 sell setup coming in here, which is actually live at the moment. But if this gets down to the first target, this would be a profit of 5.3 hour, or approximately 5 times greater than the loss. So another good example of a trade taken in the direction of the large view trend. This is live and unfolding at the moment. But the main purpose of the video was to look at the USE minis, and in particular our long trades yesterday, which did some nice trades, and to show that you don't necessarily have to have big moves to make good good trades. The most important thing is keeping the losses small, in other words the initial risk under control, and having trades where the profit is large in relation to the initial risk. That's what makes the good trades overall as a professional trader.